Okay, class, this is a video to show you how to do the basic procedures of preparing a return with our Intuit ProConnect Tax Online software that comes with our textbook. What you're looking at is our Laulima class homepage, and off to the side, the Laulima tools, is one called ProConnect Tax Online. So if you click on it, it should open up another tab on your browser to the login site for Intuit, keeping in mind that maybe you already have a QuickBooks Online account. So maybe you can try to use that same username and password you had already set up for that QuickBooks class. If not, you go down here to create an account and then use that information to log in now to our ProConnect Tax Online software. So let me sign in, and you're going to see a welcome screen. That's really this tab here off to the side. But let's get started in preparing. Well, let's really see maybe a couple tax returns already saved within this educational site. Yeah. You know you're in the educational site because up here in the address bar it says taxeducation.intuit.com. And in the real software, you wouldn't see this tax education domain name. But let's take a look at whatever clients we already have set up in our account. And you can see two clients. And if I click on this sample individual client, you can see there's already a tax return created for the 2019 tax year. Even though 2019 is not available right now in ProConnect Tax Online, only 2018 and 17. If you click on this, it'll open up the tax return and you can continue where you left off in preparing this return. But let's start from scratch. So I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to clients, and I'm going to make a new client, add client here. So if you remember that that first tax return at the end of chapter 1, that's Patty Banyan. Let's set her up here in ProConnect. So I'm going to type in her first name and then last name Banyan. Her birth date, let's make it up. Yeah, so if we're given an age, then we try to make up a date that will result in that age. So let's say she's about 40. So that's probably, let's say, in the middle of the year, July 1st, 1980, around there. And then tax ID number. We're given it to be 466331234. And then we can skip the email. Her address is, let's see if I can copy and paste it from my digital copy here. Just like we did with the fillable PDF files in that previous video. Maybe it's just faster to type in here. Her city, Houston, Texas, and then the zip is 77099. For purposes of phone numbers and these other fields here, probably it's for management purposes to contact the client, contact the taxpayer, and not used for filing the return itself. So let's go ahead and just save this. And now you can see Patty is one of our clients listed here on our client list. You probably can sort, by any of these links up here. But let's go ahead and prepare a return now. And create return. You notice you don't see the 2019 here because it's only listing any completed 2018 or 2017. And again, 2019 is not available right now, so you don't see it listed here as a possibility to create a new return. But let's go ahead and create a new return. And then our client is going to be Patty. And this is the same information we had typed in before. It's going to be a regular 1040 form. Again, we only have 2017 and 18 available here. And I'm going to change the name here, Patty, Banyan Patty, and then I'm going to add the year here so it's easy to identify when I list out the returns or the clients what return I'm dealing with here, what year I'm dealing with. So let me save. Okay, and then off to the side, really, let's look at the menu. I'm going to shrink this right-hand menu here, left-hand menu. And then off to the side, well, really off to the top, you can see the different major steps. I'm in this profile mode right now. And even though the choices here is to file electronically, our education version of the software does not allow us to file electronically. It will allow us to print out draft versions of a PDF file, a printed PDF file of the return, which this is what you're going to be submitting, uploading on Laulima sites whenever you do a tax return project. Let's move on to the next tab. Well, and if you wanted to make a state return, you would pick the state over here, yeah, like Hawaii. In the case of Patty, if I even choose Texas, I don't think anything's going to be really generated for individual returns. Texas does have a business franchise tax return, but we're not going to prepare one here for her. In fact, maybe let's just delete it off of here. So the main place where you enter information is in this input area. And you can see the different categories here. In fact, let me collapse this general section. Yeah, and these are the main sections here. And off to the right side is whatever is selected. Right now it's this general part. Okay, so I've got her state. She was a resident for the full year. I'm making assumptions. We're told her filing status was single, so that's correct. We have the social security number, birthday we've already entered when we set up the client. We have the address too when we had set up the client. And again, contact information is basically for us to manage our customer list. There's no spouse. Again, we're filing as a single filing status. And then some miscellaneous information. You know what? I don't want my name at the bottom. I remember I mentioned before, we're assuming that these returns are not prepared by professionals, even though we're using professional software here. So under prepared by, not our firm that maybe you had set up when you created an account, but I'm going to say self-prepared. So that's what's going to be appearing at the bottom of the 1040 form. Yeah, when we print it out. Self-prepared and not our preparer company name. Let's, okay, I think we're done over here. Let's move on to the next section. These payments are probably not used unless you had made estimated tax payments for the year or you want to extend the return for the year. So let's go ahead and enter her income, which we know is a W-2 form. The most common ones are at the top of the list here, and you get less common ones as you go down. But we'll be hitting this one here during our semester, this business income as a sole proprietorship. But let's go back and open up a W-2 form. And this is a listing of the basic fields you would see on a W-2 form. So we kind of match that W-2 that was given to us. Let me kind of just briefly show you it. I have it off to the side of my main screen here. So you can see this W-2. So basically, I'm just going to duplicate this information on the screen. Okay, so her employer ID number is 3312356772. and it's asking if you want to go online and try to pull it down. But because this is a make-believe company, it's not going to be able to do that. State ID number. Again, there's no state income taxes in for individuals in Texas, so that probably is going to be blank. Employer name. So I'm reading off of the W-2 form. It says Burger Box. And then the address is 1234 Mountain Road in Houston, Texas 77099. So let's go ahead and enter the first dollar amount. That's her wages of 19,800. The federal income tax withheld is $1,280 coming from the W-2. Notice that it automatically populates the same amount here for Social Security wages as taxable wages. And it calculates the correct amount of Social Security tax rounded to the nearest dollar. Same thing with Medicare wages and the Medicare tax. I think that's the only thing I see on my W-2 form that's filled in. So let's see if I can even see the tax form already. Well, let me go back one step. You see this burger box, this whole tab here going down is just one W-2. Now, if you have another W-2, you would add this plus button to get another tab. And to summarize all of these tabs, you can click on this hamburger button here, this three-line button. So this row 1, if you go across, is the first W-2. And then the next row is the next W-2 if you have one. Same thing with interest. You'll have different tabs with the different sources of income. And then a summary sheet like this to add up all of, or display all of the interest for in one table. Likewise for dividends and pensions and so forth. All of this is under this income section that I just collapsed here. And then if you have deductions, including deductions for AGI or itemized deductions, that would be under this tab here. Likewise, credits and so forth. All of these, again, are in this input section. So let's check the results already. Let's jump to this check return. And I can kind of see I need to take a look at 4 different items here. But anyway, this column kind of summarizes my my information, and looks like I matched the W-2 income. The total is the same amount, total income. It's trying to calculate itemized deductions, where I know I'm not going to do because the standard of 12,000, which is automatically calculated for me, is going to be larger. And then, let's see. I'm not sure why it's showing prior year. We didn't do the prior year. And then taxable income, which is looked up on the tax table to get this tax here. And here's the withholding. So probably the difference between the tax and withholding should be the refund at the bottom. Well, looks like there's another tax. You see this health tax here? I need to say that, remember we assuming that we're covered with health insurance. So I gotta find that health care insurance. So one way to find this, if you don't know what screen to go to, is to go back to this input section. And here in this search bar, let's type in health coverage exemption here. I click on this link. And it says in this box here, if my entire household was covered, I would use number 1. Okay, so let's go back and check our return again. And then go down, and you can see that the penalty tax is gone. So now my refund matches our previous problem we had done before, this 497. But I should take a look at this diagnostics here. So let me click on it. And I will click on this first one here. So it opens up in this window. So we're not going to do electronic filing, e-filing. So I'm just going to skip that diagnostic. Okay, occupation, that should be filled in. So remember that's parking attendant. And let me update that now. Refresh the diagnostics, so that will disappear from the list. So the next one is entering a PIN number for e-filing. Again, we're not going to e-file. I'm just going to bypass it, or you can click on this ignore button, yeah? But I'll just bypass it. And again, another PIN for third party in case you want to communicate this information or that person wants to communicate with the IRS for our taxpayer. We should skip this, yeah? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some tax forms. So in the same listing here, you see this here called income tax forms link and the US. So here's a cover page that would go to Patty when we give her the tax return. Notice it says that we're going to electronically file. Again, we're not electronically filing, but we have to give the taxpayer a copy of the tax return. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to generate a PDF file. Either give her that electronic file or print out the file for her. To get permission from the taxpayer to submit the tax return electronically to the IRS, we would make them fill out or sign this form 8879. That should be part of the tax return. Okay, that's this form here. Yeah, they would sign and date and give it to us, and only then we would release the form to the IRS electronically. So here's the 1040 form filled in for us. Notice it's all blanked out here because I chose not to show our firm. It's self-prepared by the taxpayer. And then here is the basic information on one screen, yeah, for the 1040 versus a two-sided. And there's worksheets, but let's go ahead and jump to the return itself, yeah. So on this file return, you don't see any options for file electronically. That's disabled here in our electronic our educational version. So let's go ahead and take a look at that PDF file. So this is what you're going to download and save it to your computer and then submit it in Laulima whenever we have tax return assignments using this Pro Connect Tax Online. Again, it's all one file. Yeah, saved in one file. Here's that 8879 permission for us to submit electronically to the IRS. And here's the 1040, page 1. And then page, I guess it's putting everything on one page here. Versus in real life, it's really back and front, two-sided, yeah? And some summaries, worksheets that are really not filed. Just summarizing, look like the income. Okay, and now to save it to my computer, I'll click on this download button and then save it to whatever folder, yeah, you want. Mine is in this subfolder here. And now you can upload it. Always, of course, double check it, yeah? And you can always make changes again, probably in this input area, check it out, and download the file again for any corrections. And then when you're ready, you upload the file to our Laulima site. And I'll grade it by the due date. Okay, any questions? You know, you can email me. Talk to you later.